Raptor. Rated R. On the 17 now with apparent legal guardian.
Look at this mess on this Raptor. Your typical RV roof. Ooh, got a little bit of flattenage right there. Flattenage. Guess we need a new shoulder. Lucky for him, we're fabricators. Look at it, dug all into that, huh? All right, let's see what else we got. Obviously, you can see we got the ACs off, so we check all those. And then we seal them all up, make sure they're all sealed, taped. Use that fancy high dollar tape too. It's like $40 a roll. That is some good stuff. More die core, die core, die core. That's what they want you to do. Put more on, more on. That is their cash cow. I have never seen a caulking that is designed to be outside that fails in a few months, and you got to reapply it. I'll tell you, the only thing Dicor has done well is their marketing, which is deceptive marketing, but still nonetheless, it's marketing. And it's their cash cow. For $12, $14 a tube. That's a lot of money to be putting on every few months. That's for sure. I can't reach over there. It's just too far away. This is a tall coach. We need to get a tape measure on this thing. But it's your typical RV coach. You can see someone's already gone around it with the rest of this stuff, like around the perimeter, because it looked like that's where it's failing. But I just use this checker tool when I check. All this is just a joiner tool for concrete, you know. And you can see in here if it's stuckified, you know. And I know I'm digging at it a little bit. I'd like to see. So what causes it to fail is like the plasticizers in here start to leach out, and that's what causes these to release. You know, the caulking, it's not going to stick to it. That's all that one down there that I just pried it up with my fingers. That's all I was doing. But this here, this one, probably stuck a little better than most, that one there. But nonetheless, so keep it strolling. That is, it's not a vent. That is a access in case you want to run or pull some wires, from what I gather. That's what that thing is. And now, we'll obviously well, I'll probably be omitting that. I don't know. And then I may put it back in, what the heck. I mean, in case they do want to run some wires, then they can have it there. The other ones, you know, I have them put back in there. But we'll be putting boots on here for the plumbing, and then also for the antenna. And then fancy dancy skylight, same thing, you know. So you see how that's puckered in there. But if you're not going to use Dicor, which I would not recommend, most of this rubber roofing here that is Dicor brand is made by Carlisle Syntec. They make a lap sealant, a commercial one. Carlisle Syntec does. It's just EPDM lap sealant. That's what it's called. You can probably find it online, or any commercial roofing supply house that sells Carlisle. If they're a Carlisle dealer, then they'll have it. And you just, if they'll sell it to you, then go ahead. Some areas they don't sell to the general public. Some areas they do. From what I understand, in Canada they don't. But and then we're going to be omitting that antenna, and I don't know what we're going to be putting on, but we're going to find that out real soon. So otherwise, it's your typical RV roof. So we're going to get to going on this thing. And then if you've got one of these coaches, or any coach for that matter, you definitely want to check right here, make sure this is butyl that I'm taking up right here. That's butyl. You need to caulk this, because that water's going to get behind there, and when it does, it'll start delamming right there. And then this is this cheap insert trim. I don't like that. Typically what happens on this stuff, water can roll around and it'll get in there. It'll get in there, okay? When it does, you just get all sorts of trash in there, and you get moisture that'll roll inside that track. So the stuff we use will snap in there and it'll snap over. It's got a groove in it. AP Products makes one, but they don't make what we make, especially in the black I had a special order of the black. I had to get a whole pallet full of it because even the RV industry doesn't have it in black. But AP Products has one that's similar, but the one that I like is better because it bulbs out, and I know it stays in real tight. And but AP Products makes it. I don't know the stock number, the brand, or excuse me, the stock number or anything like that, or item number, SKU, whatever you want to call it. Also, you want to get these caulked right here around these windows. These new windows they have here, on some of them, you may want to look at your owner's manual, but they'll probably tell you to have these recaulked every couple of years, you know, but you want to make sure that, you know, it's sealed well. So, you know, we may end up putting a lick on this because it's right in front of our face, just to make sure. I don't want anybody calling me up saying, hey, I got a roof leak, and it's not a roof leak, it's a window leak, you know. So, and then around here as well, see, move my camera, sorry there. Go around the top of here. Like I said, you want to check all of this. You want to have all of this. Anything on this coach, you want to have it sealed. You want to have it caulked. We do a lot of work that probably could have been either postponed, delayed, or never happened if you had a quality caulking on there. They did caulk this right here. This looks to be, is that a silicone? Feels like a silicone. So you want to check all that there, make sure it's all tight. Make sure it's good. Look at the way they did the gutters. So now when the water comes in, like, you only get that little narrow spot right there, and you know, if it does have a good flow, if it did, it would hit here and bounce back out. We usually cap that off there, so it just blocks it, and then we usually cut right here to get more water flow to get down into right in here, right? Same thing on the top one. This should be cut at least right there, so it'll flow pretty good. Then we're probably not going to be able to salvage this turn bar. That's all boogered. The other thing that we're probably not going to be able to do is all of this is smeared on here like that. We'll try our best to clean it up, but we may not. I mean, you're probably going to see that there was the underline. You'll see the shadow of it, if you will, underneath there. So, and there's probably nothing we can do with that either. So we'll go around and check your lights right in here. Let me show all these are sealed. Everything got to be sealed up. If it's not sealed up, it's going to leak. Even I would recommend sealing these. I had a couple of issues where water would get in this here, and then it would build up and go into that bulb. That was really weird. That was a lot of water, but it still didn't. And it was a chronic leak. It was just little drips over time that really caused a problem. So I would recommend sealing that right there as well. And if you ever got to replace the lens for any reason, you know, just cut it with a knife and then reseal it. That's what I'd recommend. So well, let us get to work on this thing, and we will keep you updated. I would like to see if it all works out and I get this other one loosened up in the other bay. I'd like to move this. Look how high it is. Like, that doesn't give us a lot of working room. This thing really should be a little lower. That's why I got to measure it and see what I got to do for curbs and stuff so I don't throw it over a height. But this other one that's over here is about ready to go. But I got more headroom right here because that's the center of the shop. So, but anyhow, that's what I'd like to do. We'll see if that happens. It may not be worth all the work and effort to do it. Who knows? But, alrighty. Well, we'll do big Raptors. Now we have all the roofing off. We're taking the shoulder off mainly because the shoulder is all squashed. See? It's all flat. So I gotta rebuild the shoulder. But look at here. Look at this wire. Just notice this. We haven't done anything. So you can see it's pushed and then it's shoved up underneath there. Let's see if I can get something to... I want to see if it's compromised up underneath there. Now this one's sitting on top of another one. And now I'm curious to know how bad this is. So what I want to do is look, see if it's compromised. See if we can... See, you can see just such a tiny little score in it. This doesn't look too bad. But we're going to fix that. We're going to show you how we fix that. We fix that real quick. I got to go get it and I'll be right back. That's the fix. We put these little red heads in here. That's what I did. It's just a little plastic insert. Drops in there to protect that wire. So that's what we need. It's still kind of going down and around. I don't like that. I don't know if there's much I can do about that. But it is what it is. But at least it's not going to get compromised from that sharp tubing that they got coming out. Those are pennies. So when I tell folks they won't spend yet one more red cent, they won't. They won't. Get it built, get it out, get it sold. They don't give a crap. Found another one. That's all these are. These are used on electrical. These are electrical code and use like a BX conduit. Some people call them, you know, they're bushings. Basically, that's all they are. I was always told they were called redhead slang, but you know, whichever. So anyhow, that's them right there. Boom. So I may see if I get yet a bigger size or something to fit in there, but I want to stay in there pretty snug. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at all of them, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. We're gonna make sure they're all set. So these little redheads, these ones here, they're too small. I didn't like them. So I put, this is some loom. I just shoved some loom down. It fit in there really good. So I'm happy with that. So I've got plenty of that. We'll shove it all in all of this other one down here. That one's fine. I had a bigger one for there, so I was able to fit that one in. So I'm gonna, all the other ones, we're gonna put loom in it and fit them in there. Check, here's another one. That's the way they do them all. And here's what I don't want to have happen. You know, we put all the screws and put everything back where they came from. All the screws will go back in. And I would hate for these folks, you can, I don't know if you can faintly see how scored that is. Eventually that's going to wear through. So I would hate to know, there's a wire right there. We didn't bother taking something apart to just do a prudent look at it. And that's on its last leg. And they drive out of here, whatever, go down the road, 200 miles or whatever, 100 miles to the next campsite, whatever. And they're hitting a whole bunch of bumps and this and that. And that's the last bit of it. And then it shorts out. And they're trying to put their, this looks like it's a 12 volt anyway. It's probably for a light or something. But anyhow, hey, my light doesn't work. This circuit doesn't work. That circuit doesn't work. And, you know, you must have put a screw through something. No, this is what it is. This is what it is. One of the other coaches that we did, the guy said, oh, you put a screw through something. And no, we didn't put a screw through anything. But we looked in there, and what it was a big rat's nest up inside, like literally the size of both your hands put together. I said, you think this could be it? I was like, no. I'm like, wow. But yeah, it was a rat's nest that was in there. But anyhow, so we're going to fit that right inside there. See, it'll sleeve right down. And I'll push that down at least a couple inches or so. I want to make sure it's going to stay there. And I'll keep feeding her down. See? And then this is all going to get tucked back in like it was. See, and we'll have our shoulder come over. We're not going to be putting screws in that area anyways. You know, your screws are going to go in right where they came out here. Your turn bar is down here, so we really don't have anything up here. We'll just be putting the shoulder back on, fastening it down, but there's nothing under here, no wires or anything. And then we'll be putting our protective strips. Now, this is the way they protect the edge of these. That's the way they protect the edge with a piece of tape. So that's it. That's drywall mesh. That's terrible. Let's see. We got another one down here. See, got another one. Let's check this one out. I like to see how good or bad they are, because if they do need to be fixed, I mean, I do want to fix them. Even if it was compromised, I just want to like take a good look and see. Like, I'll have to put the camera down and check it out. But that's what I do. I check them all out, and we'll go around. We'll take that shoulder off too. We'll take them all off, and that's what we're gonna do, is check them, make sure that everything is working. So, and this one, see, that's a blue wire right there. That looks like a blue and white. And that may be part of, I think this is a blue and white right here. Is it? No, it's a dark purple. So, but anyhow, they just serve certain circuits. This may come up and serve a couple of different lights somewhere else. So, but anyhow, we'll get it all fixed up, put back together. All right, now we're on the driver's side. We go down here and we check for wires. As it said here, we put the loom in there. One more right here. Put the loom in there. Then, did you check, make sure the wires themselves weren't compromised?
Yeah.
Okay.
They ain't pinched enough.
Nope, they look all right. All right, good deal. That's all we got down this whole side. It's just the dust. So now we're gonna pin this back, and then we're gonna make a new shoulder for that one, and then we'll start to get this roof on. What we're doing now, this is an adhesive that we put down. So when we bring this back in, and we staple it, I want to make sure, a lot of times I see these loose, that the staples will work loose. So I want to make sure it's glued, and we'll have to fasten it down with staples, but it'll be glued, so it'll stay in there tight. So that's what we're doing. We just haven't gotten down that end yet. So what we're doing now is just making sure this roof deck is secured. We're going to sew it up a little better than that. Get it a little tighter. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure it's shut out real well. There we go. Oh, it up. All right, so this is the passenger side. We've already got it glued. We got it rolling out. And then we'll hit it with a balance roller and then the heavy roller. Then we got to flip this other side, do the same thing. Well, our big old Raptor is done. You see our logo, rvroofinstall.com. Month, year we installed it. So now we can keep track of the roof when he comes in for inspection to make sure it's performing the way it should be performing. So it needs a special vent cover for that. He said he'd pick it up on this vent right here. These were those vents, really not vents. I think they're access panels or access pockets of some sort, because that cap, it just screws right off of there. There is a screen under it. So I just said, the heck with it, I'll put it back in case somebody wanted to run some wires. So I just made the boot, put it back on. You see how we got everything. This is all heat welded. Everything's all heat welded around here. Like this is all heat welded on here. Here's the boots that we got, right? And these boots are all heat welded. Everything's all heat welded. It's a portable sealer. So even when you start moving this around, climbing on it, you're not going to end up breaching that. So there's a 60 mil commercial grade TPO. That's what it is. TPO is thermoplastic. We also fixed our shoulder, and got some more boots all welded in. You can see we've got our vents welded in. We've got air conditioner. We get that in there, and we also got the stands in the back. So if you look probably at it, it looks like you could probably see some of the texture of the OSB. He didn't really want to redeck it. He said if it was okay, just move along. And I would have liked to redeck it, mainly because I just don't like that look. That doesn't mean anything. It's not going to leak or anything like that. So no one's ever going to see it anyways. So, but normally, like I said, I don't know if you can see it really in the light, but I just don't like that look. So save everybody some money. That's what he wanted to do. And you see we got another one of those vents right there. The plumbing, radio, everything's all heat welded. So we've got these this antenna over here, and that antenna, that's pretty good because that's a Winegard 8500 series, they call it. So what I like about those, as you can see, we've got some bolts right there. They're all bolted in. And what's good about it is that in the event, if a tree caught it, in the event that it failed for whatever reason, right? You come up here with a wrench, undo those screws, go get another one, drop it on there, hook your coax back up, you're back in business. You don't have to break apart any caulking, you don't have to do any of that. That's what I like about the install on these. And for us, it's a little easier, but also for the customer, the end user, if you have any issues with it, if that were another type of antenna that was even on a curb, you'd still have to break apart, break all the caulking apart, break everything like that apart, and then you'd have to prime it, and then you'd have to recaulk it. I mean, you'd have probably an hour and a half into it just to put an antenna on, at least. So this here, it would take you longer to actually go in the store and make the purchase of the antenna than it would to put it back on. The same thing with the front. We've got those stands in the back. And then you can see also in the front, we have a counter flash piece right there. So when the water comes around, as it's raining out, and it comes around, it'll hit that, and it goes up underneath. We have a counter flash piece up underneath on the curb. We have all the, so that counter flash prevents any water from trying to run up at all. We have 2 layers of caulking all the way across here. And we also have our new insert trim. This trim goes in and over. So, and I know, again, this is not a DIY. I'm just going over this for the customer. Let him know all the work we've done to his coach. I had to special order this here. I had to buy 2 miles of it. So I doubt you're going to find this. I know AP Products makes one. It's not quite like this, but you can't find this in black. Again, I have a lot of guys call me up that are doing some DIY stuff, and as much as I appreciate trying to help them out, we don't sell anything. We don't sell the curves, we don't sell the boots, we don't sell anything. So you can see how we've got everything all heat welded, all heat welded, all heat welded. Everything's all heat welded. So we got this skylight right here, The skylight's mounted in. We just used his old skylight. There was nothing wrong with it. Again, trying to save the customer some money. It's not broke. It was there. And then if he wants to, we can upgrade it later. But as the water is coming across the coach in the rainstorm, if it wants to run up, if it's really heavy rain, it's going to hit this counter flash and it's going to get diverted out. It's going to have trouble running over, which is going to minimize the what we call erosion effect, which typically happens and is one of the main reasons why all the roofs tend to fail. So keeping that in mind, this counter flash on the air conditioner, that piece we put on there, that actually is underneath the cover of the air conditioner, and that goes over the counter flash of that curb, much like this one here. So we designed all these so they, you know, fit, form, and function properly for an RV, and that's about it. So like I said, this is a 60 mil commercial grade. It's the same exact product you're going to find on a hospital, on a restaurant, on an office building, a library. Same exact installation procedures. So we appreciate you watching, and we'll show you the next one here.